Yes, people, welcome back to NAF, first show or live show of the day where there's been bits and bobs. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're quite lucky. And maybe if you're a Liverpool fan, not so lucky. We got Gittens To Chelsea, which is hilarious, 55 million. But you know what I'm saying? Let's see how they try to justify this one with their sporting directors. We've got this Eze stuff with Arsenal battling for Spurs. Apparently Spurs don't have a lot of cash. So I don't know how much battling they can do if Arsenal come in for this guy. That's the guy, man. Eze's the guy. I'm not gonna lie. And then obviously we've got this ORNY BOMBA for Mosquera, Cristhian Mosquera. What a baller, man! I don't get. Again, it's another situation where there's outrage between the Arsenal fans about why we getting a centre back when you need cover. Funny old game, isn't it? When the guy is actually quite, I would say he's going to be a top centre back in it. I'm not gonna lie. You might know about him, Joey. You watch a lot of football. But how you man doing, anyways?
Good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got the kid to bed, man. Freaking tired, bro.
Wait, Reese.
Yeah.
Your connection is bugging.
Is it?
Yeah, it's all over the gaff.
From my end, it's calm still. I'm not gonna lie.
On mine, it is too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe when he stands still.
Like, it's not even bugging still.
What you say? Liverpool. If people don't know, Liverpool fan. Been waiting to get onto NAF for a little while, anyways. You'd think you'd be on a laptop in a calm place, but maybe when you get verts, getting all the transfers that you're getting, you can't sit still.
Yeah, future.
They're getting too giggity, bro.
Future content and that'll be on a laptop. Obviously today, I was out because my cousin's birthday in it, but I got a bit of time still, like half an hour.
Yeah, he is lagging a bit.
Yeah, it's the camera. The audio I can hear though, innit? But
Liverpool fans getting too giggity, I see.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly though?
Yeah, your audio is fine, man. That's probably that's what matters the most, because I can't stand one when they got their audio is doing a madness.
Okay.
But, anywho,
yeah, man. In terms of transfers, obviously Liverpool's killing it. Rivals should be scared. Obviously, I want to see a guy. What's Arsenal saying? What's Arsenal doing? That's what I want to know.
We haven't started making the big signings yet.
Are you confident that you're gonna get the transfers that you want, or you think Arteta?
Yeah. I'm still confident. I think people are panicking for no reason. It's a long window. It's June 26th. Like majority of our business we usually get done in July anyways. We haven't signed a single player officially yet, but Zubimendi we know is through the door pretty much. We know Nørgaard just signed pretty much. And we know Kepa's done. So we got 3 players in the door. We're just waiting now to see who the striker is going to be, who the left winger is going to be. And it looks like we're going to get some defensive depth also with the guy from Valencia. So I'm not too worried like right now. I think people who are freaking out are kind of just panicking for no reason. We don't do business until July anyways. That's just how my club operates. So I get it.
Should we address the elephant in the room a little bit? If we're going off of what we saw actually cooking, did anyone just see what Man City did to Juve?
Yeah,
Juventus is finished, bro.
5-2 to Man City. They killed them.
What's weird though about that game is that Juve didn't even come out with their best team. Like they didn't start Yildiz, they didn't start
Thuram.
Thuram, they didn't start the left.
Cambiaso.
Are they through in their group?
Yeah, well, they're both through. They're both through.
Yeah, so Juventus don't care, bro.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but it's the
team that loses.
It's the type of goal City scored for me. It's the type of goal City scored for me. Their build up, how quicker it is, as well. You know, maybe it's like Cherky coming. I know he came a little bit later. Haaland came on. They didn't even start Haaland. You know that, right?
You know what's more concerning? They conceded 2 goals.
Yeah. To be fair, that's another thing, innit? To be fair, the pass that was into Vlahovic was beautiful, like creme de la creme type shit. It was beautiful, and the finish was even better.
Away the goal for the first.
But the 5 goals, the five goals, some of the goals, the build up from the back that Nori started off for Reinders.
They built it up. I think they played better once Rodrigo came off the pitch.
How was
Yeah.
How was
they actually played better?
One sec, because when Reese's mic's kind of quiet in it, so.
was gonna say,
But-
how was City's defense? That's what I want to know. Obviously, I didn't really see the
They
game.
conceded 2 goals.
Yeah, but it doesn't paint the picture for
Was the
me.
defense still shaky?
No.
The first goal was shaky, bro.
No, the first
Yeah,
goal was the
it was-
first
it was
goal. Yeah. So the
Edison's
first
error,
goal,
that's what I heard.
yeah, the first goal was error, by the way, from Edison. So that's
Mm.
just an error from Edison. The second goal was just mate. Rodri's off the pitch.
Yeah.
They played Gundo. It is what it is. I don't care about that. But the pass was elite. The thing is, Kanji should have been covering more than he got goal side of what's it called? Nico O'Reilly when he came on the pitch. Off for
Yeah, I mean, one of the goals that City scored, Kalulu passed the ball into his own net.
yeah, that's one. That's
Like,
one. To be fair. That's one.
yeah,
To be
like-
fair. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to discredit.
It cancels
City,
one. It cancels.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit City, but like there was still some like, you know, let it be let him get the win, but let's not give too much credit and too
Yeah,
much.
but look at the goal that Foden got to score. Haaland, the build up into Haaland's ball into
Haaland
Savio.
could have had 2 or 3.
You could have, yeah, and then even the goal
He could have
Haaland
2 or
scored. The
3.
boy,
There was one right when he walked on the
Killed
pitch.
it.
Savio cooks a dude, whips it in. Haaland makes a dope run behind the defender. Like he's like in front. He's like goal side of the defender, and then he runs behind the defender back post. The ball latches on. All he had to do was put a foot on it, and he couldn't.
yeah,
do
and
it.
Savio
be
right
real,
foot top bins.
I
Savio
still
top.
don't think Man City have solved their defensive issues from last season.
Well, it's time though. You don't know what Rodri's gonna be like, bro. Because let's be real, okay? Like when you have those types of ACL injuries, on average, it's like 18 to 24 months until you're like really actually healthy.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like at this point, he's just kind of getting back his feet. You know what I mean? So like we
Yeah,
won't
because
necessarily truly know.
I'm not even looking at
how that
Rodri.
change
Look at
works.
the midfielders in front of him. Reinders and Bernardo Silva are not going to help defensively at all.
What,
Bernardo Silva, as long as Bernardo Silva does the run,
Reinders going to help defensively.
bro? Did you see how much? All right, you know what? Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. This is exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, because I do this for Liverpool. Reece, you might see a few of my videos, but I do the same thing for Liverpool and I do the same thing for Chelsea and Arsenal. Yeah. See, if you actually watch the first 60 minutes when Reinders was playing and Bernardo were playing, every time that the ball was done, like actually, they gave away the ball, they running back and winning the ball back in 2 seconds. I saw Bernardo sometimes dropping the deepest with Reinders at time. They were literally winning the ball back every 2 seconds. Juventus didn't even have a spell of possession, to my mind. I'm not joking. And
they win the ball high though.
Look,
That's the
granted,
thing.
yeah. Granted, I'm gonna say this, yeah. They didn't have their best players on the pitch. Cool, whatever. Haaland wasn't playing either. They played a little bit different, whatever, yeah. But the thing is, every time they had the ball, City, what they weren't doing last year was winning the ball back within seconds. Look, I was last year. This year, well, I'm gonna say this year. This couple first few games, they're doing what they were doing beforehand when they won the treble. I thought, for me, they were just. I'm not trying to overgas it, but they played a good team. It's not like
No, I
some
hear
Inter
it.
Miami or something.
What I was gonna say is,
I mean, but once again,
Mm.
Juventus is not that good. Okay, like
I'm
I
gonna
don't
say,
want to give City too much credit, but I also don't want to discredit them.
mm,
Juventus is not that good. Okay, point blank in period. Like, once again, without their 2 guys, in my opinion, who keep possession the best, Cambiasso and Thuram, like with being only coming in one half, like that's where I'm like, okay, like it's just one of those games. Like you gotta take it as it comes. But what my worry in the end is for this team, if I'm a City fan, is are you gonna continue to play Rodri consistent? Or are we going to have enough rotation for Rodri until because I truly believe it's gonna take like 6 real months for him to get all of himself back underneath himself. Until January, probably we won't see the real Rodri. Okay, like that's what it comes down to. Like, and they have to be able to win the ball high up. Otherwise, their counter is going to be still the same way. They're going to get countered easily. So, like that's until that's disproven and Rodri can be Rodri.
Yeah.
I'm not going to jump in and say that they're back.
But you know what it is? Yeah, I'm just happy. Like, I look away from the whole what Man United is doing. Even though I'm gonna have Gyökeres and Buma and Cunha running out your defenses and that. Don't get me wrong, it is what it is, isn't it? Okay. Sorry, but it's like I'm interested to see how Liverpool gonna do. I'm interested to see what Arsenal gonna do when they got Zubimendi. I'm just excited to see some decent football in it. I don't want to see what shape Slot might go with. I'll give everyone their credit. I don't mind. I'm gonna get told by people in the comments, stop supporting and stop sucking off this and that team. I couldn't give a shit. Trust me, I'm just gonna give credit. They did a thing. I'm starving for football, you know. I'm starving,
bro. If this club wasn't around, you'd all be dying, bro. You'd be dying for football if this club wasn't around.
Did you watch the under 21s?
Huh?
Did you watch the under 21s?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
of course. That was entertaining.
That was entertaining. Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I don't think we can come to grand conclusions from this game.
What? Germany, France.
Of course, but that's not what you're doing. That's not what
Man City versus Juventus.
No, the England and Netherlands yesterday.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott. I know why he's going to say that because Harvey Elliott.
In my opinion, though, it's like the under 21s tournament is just skewed. In my opinion, like I don't like the fact that you're capable of bringing these U23 players like Nick Woltemade is about to be. He's 23 this year, bro.
He's going to.
Of course, he's the best player in a U21 tournament. The guy came off 17 goals. Of course, he's going to be the best fucking player in the tournament.
Yeah, but
no, I said the game's the game, and obviously I hear what he's saying. He's saying obviously if you're 23, you shouldn't really be playing, but the game's the game. They don't make the rules.
No, I hear it. Same thing with Harvey Elliott, though. Harvey Elliott's what, 22? Like, what is he doing there, bro? I get it, bro.
No. The way it works is if you were 21 at the beginning of the season.
You don't have to explain it to me. I get it. I
think Elliott's got like 150 stats for the under 21s, which is crazy.
But the game's
it's not like Lacazette being in the Olympics. Like that was mad.
Yeah. Was big up BT Slim for becoming a new member, or maybe it's gone over. Nori is a serious player. Now that if anyone looks really good right now for Man City, and I know we're going to talk about the transfers, Jay, is for me from what I've seen. Anyways, I didn't watch the last game, but I just caught highlight. Is Reinders and Nori just look really good, and Doku as well. Doku as well, and that left hand side looks quite good.
Doku looks a lot better. Like he looks more like controlled. Is the way that
he's
not so like erratic. Like he's very erratic to begin with, but he's not as he didn't look as erratic.
Can we see consistency from Doku though? That's the thing.
That's the question.
Well, I mean, from both their wingers, because realistically, those are the two wingers they actually have. They don't really have any other wingers. Like those are their wingers. Like the only actual wingers. They'll play Cherky, Bernardo Silva, whoever you want, Foden out in those areas, but those are the actual guys.
Doku versus Frimpong might be interesting.
I see the shape.
You know,
what do you think?
Wait. One sec, Joe, because he's obviously his mic's quiet.
I was gonna say, Nori though. Obviously, he's good going forward, but defensively, that's my question. I want to see this season for me. That's what I think. That's what the difference is for me between him and Kirkes. I think Kirkes is good. He's sound defensively going forward and defensively. Whereas Nori, we know he's good going forward. We've seen it for Wolves, but defensively,
that's the game against Mo Salah, though.
Can I say one thing about City?
That's cool, but that's his only game where he kind of steps up. He looks like he's up for the game defensively. A lot of
the thing about Man City is they don't need defenders apparently. They fill their team with a bunch of guys that are unorthodox, and they still win games.
Yo, like I just have this weird. I just don't understand it. Like, all right, so like if we put it in a perspective of like I look at the numbers of the players that they have at this current moment, and they have like 10 guys who can play the 10 position. Literally 10 guys who can play the 10. Like I don't know how you fix it. You have there has to be at least 4 or 5 guys either loaned or sold, in my opinion, for it to even make sense. Like, it's legitly 10 guys.
They have 8 wingers, bro.
Well, they got wingers.
Most of them are wingers. Is the problem. Most of them are wingers. Most of them are 10s. That's my point. Like even Marmoush, right? His best areas is in the 10. They're gonna have to play him in different areas, but his best. Where he's best is in the 10. Like Echeverry. They have Nipon on loan. Thank you. They have Reinders. grinders. They're going to use him as an 8 or deeper in the pitch. But his best position
squad, are we
is 10
saying?
and 1. Like they got so many 10s, bro. And last year Pep was pissed about the size of the squad. So it's going to be interesting to see how after this Club World Cup, how they end up moving. Because I bet you
they're going to probably sell a bunch of guys.
Yeah, it's going to have to be, right? Like,
but I still don't see the quality of Man City that we've seen from a couple of years ago. I need to see if these signings land. Let them land. Give them time.
Yeah.
People are saying I'm hating, but I think I've seen enough of Doku to say I don't think he's better than a Saint.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can't improve.
Doku's like Saint Maximin to me. He can beat his man. He can have fancy in moments, but he's not really. He's not really.
I don't like putting boxes around players, especially young players that have the ability to grow. Like that.
Well, when you deep it, so when it comes to form of 2025, you do know like Man City top the list in it of all teams. By the way, even over Liverpool. Like when it comes to 2025 alone.
Their form in 2025.
And also, when you deep it,
wait, wasn't there 13 defeats in 25?
No, it was before that.
No, that was before that, bro. Like pretty much.
Most because they made the signing from Eberechi
Eze. Yeah, January when they spent 200 million, right?
But I know
they were like 5th or 6th at a certain point.
And even when you deep it, like when them, like you didn't really see Cristhian, you didn't see the other
million, no wonder.
Yeah. But the only one you really saw was someone gone Nico, and then obviously Marmoush was playing.
Mostly Marmoush, yeah.
Right, so it is a fact. And what's it called? If we're going off, you said you ain't seen the City. Well, they've just beat Juventus 5-2. They just slapped the other team 6-0. I think they're from UAE, and then obviously they beat Wydad as well. So when you deep it, I mean. We don't know. We can't judge it until we see, obviously, start of the season.
That's how I'm taking it. Until I see it in the league, I'm not going to overblow it, or I'm not going to undersell it either. Like I don't want to
just to wrap it up, anyways, for the Man City part of things.
I'm just saying thereabouts.
Yeah, of course they are.
Sure,
of course they are. But what I was going to say, just to wrap it up with City, for one thing that I have seen, which is kind of notable, they're moving the ball a lot faster. They're not taking too many touches, and they're getting it back to front really quickly. So that's what I would say. That's the difference. They just look that little bit different compared to last year. I think last year was a little bit too slow, a little bit lethargic, and also they couldn't catch up with players. Like legit couldn't catch up with players. That's where Reinders comes in because he's aggressive, because he can catch up with players at least. And Rodri's Rodri in it. Let's be real.
Having Rodri back is the
let's talk about your team, Gal. Obviously, you looking like you're going to sign Mosquera for about 16 million, something along them lines, from Valencia. Cristhian Mosquera under. One of the I think he's 20, playing for the under 21s of Spain before they got knocked out, and whatnot. Mate, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, and I know you're getting all the little bits and bobs done now, which I don't mind personally, innit? Like if it was me, if you're getting to get all these, okay, you've got a backup centre back, or you can play right back, by the way, obviously. You got Nørgaard, cool, whatever. Had the outrage already, been there, done that. And whoever else, Zubimendi was done ages ago. Look, if you get your business done now. And then by the end of, let's say, July, you've got Sesko in the door, which looks like it's getting a little bit closer. If anything, if you're going to go off Sammy Mockbell and get a bit of encouragement. And then obviously the new Eze links. I'm not being funny. That's a release clause. So on that notice.
Well, it's a release clause with terms, right? So you got good terms.
I don't see I can't understand the outrage too much. I can understand it from a point of like you want the top players, you want them now, you should get them first. But for me, it's like, well, they're getting all the little wishy-washy players out the way. 20 years old. Mosquera is one of the better, most highest potential centre backs in the world at the moment. People don't seem to realise that yet.
It's really just because Liverpool. It's really just because Liverpool and Man City have already started doing their business, and we're falling behind, and we're kind of playing catch up. That's why people are kind of getting antsy. Man City made 4 signings.
I don't know if it's
Man City made 4 signings. Liverpool signed Florian Wirtz. We're signing some squad players in Zubimendi. That's really why people are getting upset. We haven't signed the striker yet. We haven't signed the left winger yet. And if we would have signed the striker or left winger already by now, more people would be like, you know what? I get it.
You think you're gonna get a striker though?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get a striker. It's not a thing where we're gonna leave this window without a striker.
I just think that the way that the striker situation is being handled right now, like as much as you want to like praise Berta for the 2 option movement when you're talking about negotiations and all that other good jazz, it just feels like the priority for you guys and like the conversation all started in this window with the striker, and other things are getting done and the striker just is like stagnant. Like you just don't have any news. Like everything's kind of just like stopped in the striker movement, and then you guys have just gone to other things.
I
And
think
not for
because
nothing,
of the
Miguel.
money
Wait,
spent,
just let me finish real quick, because not for nothing. Like I feel like this, like the way that you guys have built, and I spoke to you about on Twitter about this. Like the way that you guys have been built, it's like you guys just keep on adding in those areas specifically, and you're not, and like the focus of like what your fan base actually wants is 9. Like until that's solved, nothing else really matters to them. And I get it, right? Like I get it from like the squad building standpoint. Like you guys are doing the right movements squad building wise. But until that 9 is actually solved, no one's gonna be happy. Like it's just gonna be it doesn't even matter what happens. No one will be happy until that 9 is solved. That's just really what it comes down to.
you know,
That's why
I agree with you, but I also do think Liverpool making such an exciting signing in Florian Wirtz and Man City signing multiple players of like decent quality in Reinder, Cherki, and Nuri makes Arsenal fans kind of like, let's go do our stuff now. Let's go make a splash now. It's kind of like they're doing their thing. When are we going to do our thing? And I do feel like it until we sign the striker or left winger, we're not going to see an exciting signing. Let's be honest. Nobody's getting excited by a backup center back. Nobody's getting excited by a backup midfielder. Nobody's 100%. Even getting excited by Zubimendi at this point because it's been since January where we've known this signing is going to be happening. So a big portion of real estate in the transfer window that makes people really get excited is when they go and make a big splash. And we just haven't done that yet. Until we do that, I do think there's going to be a level of
disappointment until it happens.
Mistrust or
it's not necessarily even like a lot of your fan base doesn't already trust what's going on. But like I'm just saying, it's pure disappointment until it doesn't happen. Until one of those attacking signings happen, because you guys like I just from like just from your show earlier with Truth, I watched that earlier. Like
what happened?
Attacking signings have not happened for your football club in so long. It feels like it's never going to happen. And that's why when you guys go out and do other things that are not attacking signings, it makes them the disappointment just grows. That's it. It just continues to grow because there's nothing that's adding to the goals that are needed for this football team. And that's
but you know why we haven't signed too many attackers? It's because one, we've been very cheap when it comes to trying to sign players, and we cheaped out on what do you call it? We couldn't get Rafinha because he wanted to go to Barcelona. We couldn't get Vlahovic because he wanted to go to Juventus. We couldn't get Isak at the time because the board decided they did not want to pay 15 million more for Isak. We ended up going for Jesus, which ended up being okay for 6 months and then fall off a cliff since then. Kai Havertz, which I think looking back at it now is definitely a mistake, putting him on a lot of money and when we could have got somebody better. And overall, the club is in a situation where they now need to go invest in the attack, and maybe it could mean that Martinelli is the sacrificial lamb.
That's where it's going to look. What do you think, Reese, as well with Arsenal, their business at the moment? Because I know Mosquera is not exactly lighting up the world, but with Eze links, they can definitely get him over. Remember, Eze supports Arsenal and everything, you know. If they want him over Tottenham, I'm not being funny. He's going Arsenal. Don't even. I'm sorry if you're a Spurs fan, innit? Yeah, but I heard that you're actually cash broke. Then it's like,
yeah, but if cash broke, you think about it though, Cass? If they're cash broke, right? But the deal is 20 million a month or a year, like 3 different things a year. Doesn't seem like that you can't be that broke and not pay 20 million. Bro. Like
cash, maybe.
Oh, you're talking about Eze?
Yeah, because Eze is 20 million plus add-ons. It's 20 million.
Let me hear what Reese has to say. What are you thinking?
Before we even get to the Eze thing, I think the Mosquera thing is pretty straightforward because people are getting upset. They're like, yo, why are we signing another defender? We do need cover for Saliba. Let's be honest.
I agree. He's not reliable.
Ben White is a right back, not a center back anymore. Timber is a right back. We can't be resorting to playing all our right backs at centre back in the case of an injury. Also,
Well, we've seen Kivior play there,
right
left foot centre back at right, which is kind of weird, and we shouldn't be because
Tomiyasu might retire.
Left,
Kieran Tierney's gone. Zinchenko's going to be sold. We're going to be down 3 defenders. If we go down 3 defenders and we don't replace even one of them, we're leaving ourselves weaker in the defense.
What are you saying, Reece, about their business? This is the team that's meant to be up for contention for the Premier League, man. Against you lot.
Note that Liverpool didn't make a signing and you won the league. So.
Reece, go on.
Let him finish.
You're not Liverpool, though. That's the only thing I'll say. You're not Liverpool, though. But with the Brentford midfield, I think he's decent. But the thing is, Arsenal need a superstar. Obviously, Liverpool signed a superstar in Florian Wirtz. I would say Man City, I don't know if they signed a superstar, but they signed a very talented player in Reinders. Obviously, what's his name? The number 10. I think he's a talented player as well.
Jerky.
Jerky, that's it. But I think
beef jerky.
I think you need that striker or that left mid. I think Martinelli's good, but I think he needs competition. I think he needs someone to come in there, whether it's Rodrigo or, like Cass said, Eze. I think that's a no-brainer for me. 68 million. I think you lot should be trying to get that done now.
We're obviously trying to go for Rodrigo first. If you can get Rodrigo, we'll go for him.
For what it looks like, he looks like he's trying to be stingy and fight for his place at Real Madrid. So for me, if you've got a player who's dragging his heels, he's trying to drag it out, just go and get Eze. Because for me, Eze's Premier League proven. He's Premier League proven as well already. For me, I think.
I know, but then why sign Eze in June 26th and then July 15th? What do you call it? Rodrigo becomes available. You want to wait and see your options before you start putting all your eggs in one basket.
From all the links and the reports, does he want to go to Arsenal? And it sounds like you lot don't even want to pay the wages that he wants. So
that's not true. Reports are Arsenal willing to pay and make him the highest paid player at the club.
So what's taking so long right now then?
He's currently playing for Real Madrid in the Club World Cup. But
he doesn't want to leave from what it sounds. It sounds like he wants to fight for his place under Alonso.
Of course he's going to say that when he's still playing for Real Madrid. You're not going to say, well, I got a game tomorrow, but I want to leave. You're not going to do that.
Do you rate Eze?
Of course I rate Eze. I like Eze.
But you prefer Rodrigo?
Of course, because Rodrigo's a better player. He's more proven. He's been clutch in the Champions League, won more trophies. He's been a major factor in that Real Madrid team. I think if he came to Arsenal, he'd be a big X factor.
More likely to get out of the two.
Out of the two, obviously, I rate Rodrigo higher, but I think Eze is a quality player also.
Yeah, without a doubt. But even then, with
as
Eze,
an alternative, I think Eze is quality. But Rodrigo, let's be real, he's a better player.
We'll see what happens with him in the next couple of weeks, maybe, or something. If he gets to play or he don't play, we'll see, innit? We saying, Jay, man, someone's coming over for one of your targets.
What's going on? All good. Can't complain. We're busy, but still. I'm seeing Arsenal buying a defender. Mikel's bread and butter. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like the thing is, it's like I honestly, like let me preface this by saying I rate Arsenal. I think they're a very good team. I think Arteta is a very good manager. But I just think it's funny that when it comes to market opportunities for defenders, Arsenal are there. They're always there. They can find some pennies for a defender for a good market opportunity. But when it comes to an attacker for a good market opportunity, you know, there's a lot of debate and stuff. And I'm gonna say, right, Igal, because obviously I'm looking at what you've done so far, and I don't know if you covered it. And I'm like, listen, Nørgaard, Zubimendi versus Jorginho Partey. I mean, parity. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe if you take the two of them together versus the two of them. Like, if you don't think that you need to improve in the midfield, that's fine. Going into next season with a similar quality midfield as you had this season is fine if you don't think you need to improve in the midfield. No problem. But the rest of the team, you know, like in terms of like the attackers and stuff, I'm not gonna slam Arsenal for not doing their business like on like, you know, Christmas shopping on the 1st of November. I'm not gonna kill you for that. But I am gonna say, you know what you need to do. So there's no excuses. You can see what Liverpool are doing. You can see what City are doing. No excuses. There's no excuses here. So whether you buy them now, first day, like 2 days before the first game of the season, last day of the transfer window. No excuses, man. Like, let's just see what you got.
You're mute.
That's fair and objective to say. And I do think some people are being disingenuous, saying, "Oh, we've gotten weaker, we're worse off." You don't know that.
Hold on, but let's examine it. Yeah, Zubimendi versus Partey, Jorginho versus Nørgaard. I'm gonna say I prefer Jorginho to Nørgaard, but Nørgaard's still a good player and he's very available. Do you see what I mean? He's more available than Jorginho.
So it's an instant upgrade.
And he's better on the transition defending.
So
yeah,
it's
but
an upgrade, then, isn't it?
But I wouldn't say he's an upgrade. I still think Jorginho
better. He's definitely an upgrade defensively.
I mean, the thing is when you say he's definitely an upgrade, are you saying that with the benefit of revisionism? Are you saying that now because you bought this player?
No, because he's 32 years old and his legs are gone, mate.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is last season, not this season.
Wait, I remember the trim.
The season before, Jorginho was very good next to Rice. You know, he helped you a lot.
And he also cost us on transition versus Spurs.
But I'm saying it's like
Aston Villa.
Like, well, I listen to Arsenal fans talk a lot about why Partey missing from the PSG first game, for example.
Yeah, but Partey also cost us
was a material reason why you didn't do better in that game.
Yeah, but that was because of his own
now you're going to play a season without Partey. You're going to play a season without an able backup.
But Zubimendi is going to be the replacement for Partey. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a materialistic. I don't think it's a thing where it's like we've gotten worse. Arguably, I would say Nørgaard is currently better than Jorginho. I'm not saying he's better than Partey.
1,000,000%. Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I think Nørgaard is definitely better than Jorginho at this moment in time.
Okay,
as for Zubimendi and Partey, you can say those two cancel each other out. But Zubimendi is going to be cheaper wage-wise, and he's much younger and has much scope.
You're basically cutting in half, isn't it? But let's be real. I know, Aaron, you want to say, you know what? Go on, Aaron.
Basically, what we've done then is spend 65 million quid on the midfield and stand still. Then
exactly.
That's
what we've done is we've gotten younger and we've reduced the wage bill.
I also think
I'll agree with you. That's
very smart business.
But we're not here to make smart business. Hold on one sec. We're not here to make smart business. Who's the better players? Who's the better players? The better players are with Thomas Partey in the team. And we have not got Thomas Partey in the team now.
We don't know that going forward for the next 2 years. Who's better?
But all of you lot are sucking up Zubimendi like he's the next coming of God. The problem we've got with Zubimendi, and you get this with all the players, whatever, but everyone's like, oh yeah, he's here, bang, replace Thomas Partey. We've got 5 years of Thomas Partey playing in Arsenal systems and in the Premier League. Zubimendi could come in and he might just not cut it in the Premier League. You don't know that. So to say, but you're laughing. To say that he's going to be better than Thomas Partey 100% is ridiculous. You can't say that. I hope he comes in and Go on. I want to carry on.
What I'm trying to say is I agree with your point to a large extent, but I draw a line because it's like Zubimendi Partey is that's what would have been nice for Arsenal going into the season. But when you lose Partey, now it's Nørgaard instead of Partey. So it's hard to, when people are saying 2 for 2.
Oh, we're still worse off.
What
I'm saying is we spent 65 million compared to have the worst midfielder. Guess what Arsenal's done? Yeah, listen to this again before you carry on. No. I've just got it. No. Don't be rude. Calm yourself down in your tank top. Don't be rude. I've just got in.
I'm not even being rude. I'm just saying,
Yes, you are. Arsenal Football Club. Thomas Partey, 45 million. Odegaard, 35 million. Lokonga, 70 million. Vieira, 35. Jorginho, 11. Havertz, 65. Rice, 105. Mourinho, 35. Nørgaard, 11. Zubimendi, 55. Arsenal spent 414 million pound on their midfield. And what we've got for it is a player that's unproven in the Premier League in Zubimendi. We've got Odegaard, who's been regressing for the last 2 seasons, and Declan Rice out of fucking position. It's retarded on multiple levels at this football club. And we ain't even got the better top 4 midfield in there. Chelsea's got better midfield than Arsenal. Man City's got a better football. Liverpool's got a better midfield. What are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? And everyone's going to come in and defend that. It's nonsense. 414 million quid. And this is what we've got to show for it in the midfield. Mikel fucking Marino and sitting around. Oh, come off it, man. Come off it. Arsenal Football Club, in terms of business, has been a shambles. And as it stands, we've spent 65 million quid on it, and it's fucking worse. What are we doing here?
So listen, I don't want to listen. I don't want to overly defend Arsenal, but there was a couple of things where I'm like, the point you're making can be broadly right, but you don't have to kill certain things. Like, no one goes like 10 for 10 in transfers. Do you know what I mean? So obviously Arsenal have transfers that haven't worked out. You have obviously got some very good midfielders. Like, whether you've got Odegaard, Rice, Marino is a Spanish international. Like, obviously Zubimendi's just come in. Like, you have got good players. You've got good players. We don't need to, we can argue about the money that's been wasted on people like Lokonga and Vieira and putting that money together and getting a higher quality player. Cool. With you, 100%. But what I'm trying to look at here is, I get where Arsenal fans are kind of upset because the rest of the team is like, Partey is 31. You have gotten younger with Zubimendi. I know Nørgaard is Nørgaard, but I don't know. I think obviously, you got to buy the attackers. I'm not, if I'm looking at what Arsenal have done so far, it's fine. It's decent. It's good. There's some decent players that they've brought in. It's not horrific. And so I'm not sure whether you're as annoyed because you've had a bad season and you've got a lot of pressure on the club, or whether you genuinely believe some of your midfielders aren't good. Because as a rival fan, as a Spurs fan, I'm saying to you, you have got good players.
They're not good enough. That's the problem, bro. They're not good enough.
It's not. For me, it's not necessarily the player level, necessarily, because it's so you can't necessarily just sit here and say that this player is going to come into this league and he's going to flop, or this player is going to come into this league and he's going to succeed. You can't say that. You just can't say it, right? But if you look at the style of football that you're actually providing when you actually bring in these midfielders, there's not actually a line breaker anymore. Partey was the line breaker back when you had Partey. When you're talking about what Zubimendi is really good at, is he's good at getting the balls to the outside. He's good at getting the ball to the wingers as quickly and getting to the ball to those wide midfielders. So if he's playing if you're planning on playing him at the 6, he'll get the ball to Odegaard pretty quickly. That is something that you'll be able to see. But if you're talking about what Partey was good at, was being able to get the ball from the back line, turn, and be able to get it quickly to the strikers. And that's something
his shoulder, he was excellent at that.
And that's something that you're not going to get as much from Zubimendi. That's the difference, in my opinion. I also don't think Zubimendi's as combative as Partey is, when it comes to duels. And the duel numbers might be different from what I don't look at you guys' players' numbers, to be honest. But the duel numbers can be different. But from my eye test of watching these players, he is not nearly as combative as what Partey can do. So it's you're gonna ask Rice to do more in this sense with Zubimendi here. That's kind of the way that it ends up working out. So I just wonder how he's gonna move it, right? With all these tall players, with all how is Arteta gonna play with this? Because to me, it seems like you're going back to the wing system where the wings are gonna be getting the ball over and over and over again. That's the way I see it end up playing.
Let me say
is it not
one second, Jay. Let me jump in here. I think you guys are missing a trick here that hasn't been mentioned throughout the whole part of this conversation. Thomas Partey is 32 years old. To put him on improved wages from 200K a week to 250K a week, which was reportedly what he's demanding, making him the second highest paid player at the club, where there's no guarantee that he's going to be starting week in, week out for the next 2 years, going into his 33rd year and his 34th year, by the fact that we have a 26-year-old Zubimendi who we're just signing to potentially be the next starting defensive midfielder. And if he's not starting, we will also have Declan Rice, who we spent £100 million to also who can play in the defensive midfield. So when we're talking about getting worse, is Thomas Partey at 32 years old worth giving him 250K a week for the next 2 years?
No,
I don't think there's no guarantee to say for the next 2 years he's going to be either fit enough or playing at a high enough standard to warrant those kind of wages, and that
we-
could then potentially
Bruv.
screw up our negotiations with Bukayo Saka, screw up our negotiations with Saliba, screw up our negotiations with everyone going forward, and what kind of wages they would demand, and it can completely mess up the wage bill.
They
So when
already
everyone's
screwed that up with
talking-
Havertz
So
on
that- everyone-
280 and
everyone
Jesus
likes
on
to talk about
265.
wages.
Oh, and guess
Aaron,
what?
Aaron,
If Arsenal
Aaron,
Football
when
Club
you
hadn't have
spoke,
let
I
Thomas
stopped.
Partey, fair. If they hadn't have let him go to the end of his contract, we wouldn't be in this conversation anyway.
I
They
agree
should have
with
done
you.
it last season.
I agree with
or
you,
sold
but
him.
who's in charge of
Two
that?
seasons ago.
Garlic, who's in
Arsenal
charge of that?
Football Club.
Edu. Why didn't they get that sorted? I don't know. That's not my business. At this moment in
Not good
time,
enough, bruv.
he's
You
here.
know it. Come on.
We're at the end of the window. We're at the end of the window, and we have a choice. Do we give him a new deal? They offered him a new contract at 200K a week. He turned it down. At that point, the club has to look at the opportunity cost. They have to look at the cost of the player. They have to look at his age. They have to look at potentially what they're going to get out of that cost. It would cost the club £26 million to pay him for the next 2 years. It would cost the club £14 million to pay Nørgaard for the next 2 years plus his transfer fee. No wonder they're going to fucking do that when Zubimendi.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Like, can I put two pence in this? Can I put 2 pence in this?
You're talking taking players' wages, right? And this is the one piece that frustrated me when I heard you say this earlier. You can't say that just because Nørgaard's on 40K a week. When he moves, he's not getting 40K. He's gonna get more than the 40K.
100%.
There's like
Okay, even if he
here-
gets 80K a week, that's only 4 million a year. That's still 9 million less than what Thomas Partey would get a year.
How
to
much did you-
potentially be rotation?
How much did you say over 2 years, Thomas Partey?
13 million a year.
Because you'd be
And
going
are you
because
sure
you'd be going on
it's
250. Yeah,
250
Yeah,
times
it's about
52 weeks, 13 million a year.
it's about that.
Sounds
Yeah.
steep.
To be fair, I
Double
know
check my
someone
math.
will say,
Thank you.
I
Oh, well done. You used the calculator like I did. You're not maths genius, Agal. Come on.
no,
Hey, I've already done the math. That's what I'm telling you. So you didn't have to
Yeah.
double check it.
He's got a point. The thing is, we talk
Oh,
about
I do when you talk. I've got to double check it.
I
Come on,
was
if I double check all the stuff you
I know
say, you know what's
something.
gonna
Why are we
happen.
turning
You're
to
gonna
Bob, if I check everything you say, you wouldn't have a follower,
ask
let alone
the speaking guys, let him
3,000.
finish.
No, I don't mind.
Hey, buddy, you do it as long as me, you'll get a following. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll do it as long. I'm not kidding. Mate, I'd rather my following than your Mong following. Don't worry about that.
Don't bite. When you
Meow.
bite on that, you know what it
Meow.
is. It's like
Man's
being on
acting silly.
Yeah, I know.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're here to have a football conversation. Control yourself. Next,
Yeah,
let's talk
that's
football.
how it is.
As for-
Here he is.
Don't have to go that
Here he
far.
is. He's got his guns out. He's at his Weetabix this morning, isn't he, Gal? He's got his guns out. He's got his big boy pants on and his big boy vest on. Giving it to Barry
You know you
McGuigan.
started this conversation, right?
Wait,
So
wait,
let's
wait.
just have a
Hold
normal
on,
conversation.
hold on,
Big
hold
boy
on.
First
pants
things
on,
first.
Gal, isn't
Hey,
he?
one sec.
If you
You
got a
know
problem with me, we can
Wait,
sort it out
wait,
after the stream.
no,
You
you
don't
don't.
have to
No,
do
I
that.
got a problem
No,
with
we
you.
don't.
What you
He doesn't have
crying
a problem.
for?
He doesn't have a
Let's do
problem.
it.
I'm smiling. What you want to fight, didn't you? He's like,
No,
what
we
the problem
only
with
you
me?
both.
Come
All
on.
All
right,
right, boys. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Guys, let's get back to the football.
Yeah. No, one thing. Look. Both of you got two different opinions on Arsenal, the way you want to view it. And I'm not saying it's you're wrong or you're wrong in it. Who's going to get hot and it says, fuck it, I'm going to have a fun. Mate, remember, I get into it sometimes as well. I'm not going to be a hypocrite, but it is just football, innit? It's just something like, let's just keep it to the players and whatnot. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. Because you two, when you deep it, when you lot two do this, yeah, then it gets a bit silly and people go, oh, Gal, but or Aaron, you know what you're talking about? I'll beat you. Bro, you're better off doing content together because you ain't got the same opinion. Do you get it? So when you get personal, you're actually missing out on good content. Do you know what I mean? It's true. Is that not true? Is that not true?
I'm just like, you know that.
You two could go on each other's
Do you
channels.
remember that video that went viral of that guy when he sees those two young black kids that are about to fight and he starts talking to them? He's like, "Listen, guys, you don't need to fight. They're laughing at you. They want you to fight." So,
But think about it though. Anytime Gal and Lee are on the same stream, it's a viral thing. Like,
but it's all right afterwards, though.
It
is what it is, though. But I'm just saying, it don't need to go
Yeah,
further. Let's just
still
get back to the Arsenal part.
That's the
No,
point.
we don't want him to. There's no. It's respect. Do you know what I mean? It don't have to go that far. I'm just saying, you're better together making content because it's just good content rather than that. That's it. Nothing more. But anyways, what I was going to say, whoever said that, right? I didn't realize it going from like Nørgaard. It's better if it was Zubimendi and Partey. The thing is, I think
that was me.
I like that when you think of it more like that.
That's
But
what
the
I'm
other
saying.
part, the other part is, I think, you know what he said, who else would you go and get? The thing is, I think if Liverpool lost out on a big DM maybe or player and Man City, I think this is what you might have a problem with, Aaron, is they'll go get the next best thing. You'd probably think, okay, if I lost Partey, who do I want? You want probably like Belabor or something. You know what I mean? You want one of those kind of players, but then you don't want to spend 100 odd million because then the critiques will come out and say, oh, but we're not accountants.
You're going to spend 80 million on Belabor.
I'm not gonna lie, he's worth it.
But the
worth it. Adam Morton, worth it.
Adam Morton's going to give every penny.
I like your additions, Gal. Personally, I really like Nørgaard. I don't care if he's 31 and obviously he doesn't move the needle. I really like Nørgaard. I think he's an underrated footballer that should have been at a bigger club 2 years ago. But now he's and as a backup, I don't give a shit. I think Zubimendi, it's going to be difficult to replace Partey. Period. In my opinion,
it's a very sensible
transfer. It's like, look at Mahrez. Remember when Mahrez and that left Man City? Look who they replaced him with. We said, oh, they're going to fall off. They're going to fall off. That might not be the case. And I know you've got the Pep and you've got Arteta, but really and truly, you're both in win-win situations. Because if it don't go right, then you're both come together and say it's probably the manager and it's upstairs for once. Do you know what I mean? We all said this. If Arteta is his transfers, or whatever, and I know Mosquera's, I think he's a better transfer to be fair, then it's going to be pinpoint on the manager, and you can kind of have a vision together as an Arsenal fan base for once after 5 fucking years. Do you know what I mean? It's not a bad thing.
But the thing is, Kaz, obviously, I don't want to speak on behalf of Arsenal fans, but the thing is, attention and your ability to just give the manager the benefit of the doubt, it drains when you see your team not win. It drains when you see yourself not take the additional step. And I really think there's no one way to be a fan, right? So if you're looking at it objectively, you can be annoyed now that you've not done the business that you want them to do, and you can also be chilled to say that the business can be done later. Both are reasonable viewpoints to me. I'm just like, to me, Arsenal have to prove that they can do these deals. The Rice deal was a big deal. They need something like that this window. Like the rivals are doing good stuff. Arsenal needs something. All of this smart, intelligent transfers that they're doing at the moment, that's fine. Good business, not smashing the balance sheet. But, at the end of the day, I don't think this fan base, Arsenal's fan base, is accepting anything other than trophies this season. And if not the Premier League or Champions League, you're probably going to have to win 2.
They will, bro. They'll make excuses somehow. We'll
I
see
don't think
it every year.
Making excuses this season. If
we said that last season.
Yeah, because that was different.
Exactly. Why was it different? It just be next year.
Because last season was the first time we had major injury crisis throughout the whole squad.
Okay, so when you say that,
we go into this season and have the same issue.
No, but going into the season, everyone could see that you were an attacker light, right? Yeah. Then you got an attacking injuries. So if you're an attacker light and then you get attacking injuries, how are you like that? To me, all that does is actually shine a light on the season, on the seasons that you didn't have injuries. It actually means, you should have won.
1 second.
So with the benefit of hindsight, those seasons were not as good seasons as you thought they were. Because if you say, well, last season we had injuries and we dramatically dropped off, well, you should have won when you didn't have injuries.
All right. Stop. First things first. We had injuries, and yes, we had to be better prepared for those injuries, but we also had injuries to our talisman, and we also had injuries even in areas of the pitch where we were heavily over prepared in. Defensively, our fullbacks was one of our areas where we had the most preparation. We bought Calafiori, we bought all these guys, and we still had numerous injuries in areas where we even were over prepared. So last season was just a very bad season throughout the whole team, getting constant injuries, and hopefully they've learned from that, and that's why they're going and signing a Nørgaard. That's why they're going and signing this guy Cristhian Mosquera. That's why they're going and getting all these different signings done, so they do not leave us short going into next season again.
Yeah, well, listen. I've been listening to the background here. Big up the chat.
Yeah.
Well, question for Aaron.
What's going on?
Yeah, of course it's me, man. I'm
big man. You good?
I'm like
Batman.
Bandit.
Come on, camera.
I'm a bandit. Nah, I'm busy. But I'll come on quickly.
No, you're not busy. You're
Always
half
busy when
naked.
Chelsea
He's,
something
he's
Chelsea.
half naked right now. You got no top on, nothing like that. That's what it is.
He's in
I
bed.
can't be flexing on these people, man. So I'm saying. But anyway, Christopher Aaron and the guy, yeah. Why is it that all of a sudden, like, your fan base is turning to accountants, bro? I'm hearing like all of a sudden, Partey leaving is a good thing. I guarantee you, Partey was staying. They'll be saying it's great news. That's the only thing I would say.
Brother, when you're on our side of the fence, that's it. It doesn't really make a difference. You want the best players because the best players win you titles. You got to give you a better chance at least anyway. So, yeah, well, I get the gal's point. I totally get it from a financial point.
Yeah,
I totally
of course.
get it. But guess what? I don't care about Arsenal's finances in terms of I go down the boozer and go, yeah, do you know what? Arsenal made 10 million in the summer last year. Boom. I'll tell you what I do want to do. Go down the boozer and go, yeah, Arsenal were the best team in England last year and we won a Premier League. And we're not doing that. And Nørgaard and Partey brings you closer to that. Whether it be that much, whether it be that much. I just want the best players for our Arsenal Football Club. That gives
in my opinion, if you had Zubimendi, right? A Nørgaard, Zubimendi, Partey, and then a young guy came in or something to bring down the age bracket or whatever. That's a solid kind of trio that you could rotate with Rice and Odegaard because then you've got experience and Partey in the Premier League, experienced player. You've obviously got the new guy coming in, for example, and Zubimendi, who everyone said is a Rodri replacement, apparently. So next season, I'm going to be judging Zubimendi like a Rodri replacement that everyone says he is. Because the way I'm hearing Zubimendi sound like, well, a lot of people, this is neutrals, not just Arsenal fans, by the way, like he's some like top-tier, world-class talent. Yeah. So when he comes into the team next season, I don't hear nothing about no DM issues.
One second. Can I reply to this guy for his first comment?
You know, of course you can. Because I've got something about what he said.
Ches, I could talking about accountants. I'm pretty sure you're on TikTok and you've been doing this accountant thing, talking about Chelsea and Gittens. Don't get fleeced. You said, right? You want me to play the video? Also, we have videos of you talking about Menyan and Chelsea not spending 5 million and don't get fleeced over 5 million. So you're talking about Arsenal fans being accountants.
So hold on.
So
you're calling me an accountant,
and you said don't get fleeced for Gittens. Chelsea, good job. Don't pay this extra money. You've also said 5 million more. Don't pay it. You've made the right decision. We can wait until after the Club World Cup. Yes, so all of a sudden it's Arsenal fans, and
I just teed myself up here.
But then you go on.
Love that again. No president.
I teed myself up.
Listen, everyone, listen.
I teed myself up because I said it to him before. And I said the same thing to you before.
Do not get fleeced. Why do you care about the money all of a sudden?
Yeah, so you didn't. This is what I'm saying. Aaron made a good point. Aaron made a good point earlier, right? One second.
Arsenal
made 1 second, bro, because you got your top out, you're half naked with your vest out, and you're thinking of the Billy Big Blocks, Bob the Builder type stuff. Let's relax with the ego.
Why does everyone keep talking about it? Everyone keeps talking about vest.
Because one time, I wore a vest, and Cuz was like, "Oh, you do OnlyFans, don't you?"
So you upset that we're not fucking the gal's vest.
Yeah, Jay, remember that time on the street? I wore a vest one time, and Cuz was like, "Yo, Ches, what's going on?" I was like, "Nah, this guy's
not for wearing a vest." Okay.
Anyway, back on the football, back on the football. What I'm trying to say is this. Well, this is what I'm going to say on this. Because the gal, he's used this line before, so I was waiting for it, you know? I kind of used him in that way. So here's the thing, gal. Here's the problem with your argument. You're happy with whatever the club tells you regardless. The difference between me and you is, I don't really rate Gittens like that. That's why I said don't get fleeced. I think Man United joined the football club anyway. Hence why I said don't get fleeced. You're using the accountancy argument to back up the idea that Partey is not good enough to stay. When the guy is literally, he's not 38, he's 32, can provide 2 more years of world-class ability because he's injury-prone, fair enough. And I think that would have helped you way more to fight for the title than, for example, bringing a Nørgaard who's an okay player and Zubimendi who's never been in Premier League before.
Partey was our best midfielder last year.
Exactly. When I say that, that's not Partey's. It's not saying Partey's world class.
I didn't say finish it as a whole. As a whole, Partey over the course of that season, over the whole season, he was our best midfielder. Rice come back with an England hangover. Then he got his injury. Then he was out of form. And then, to be fair, he finished it really strong. I'm not going to argue that. But as the whole season, the whole season, I'd say if you count it from August to June or whatever, Thomas Partey was the best, most consistent
And you know
midfielder at
something?
Arsenal Football Club.
Thomas
Just let him
Partey-
go for free.
Thomas Partey at 32 years old, giving him 250K a week is negligence from the club.
If they
would have done that, that would have been negligence.
Bro, they given Kai Havertz 280K a week. They're giving Odegaard 240. They're giving Jesus 260.
I don't agree with that either. I don't agree
I'd
with
rather
giving
someone that actually contributes on 250.
Before I go there, I've got a simple question for Regal. Do you think in midfield?
That doesn't take away from the point.
I'm going to go there. Regal, do you think in midfield, for the record?
Let me finish, bro.
Because I just joined the team to ask you questions.
You were literally quiet. You didn't say a word until I started speaking. Calm down.
It's because you got a tank top on. I'm scared, innit? You got a tank top on. I'm scared. I'm a bit threatened. I'm getting a bit shaky. You know what I mean?
250K a week for any player who's of the age of 32. They need to know that they're going to perform.
You're right.
If you have Thomas Partey and he's not guaranteed as a starter and he's going to be a bit part player potentially next season with Zubimendi coming in, eventually going to be taking over the reins. Why do you think the club should pay him over what he's?
That's a fair point, Arsenal Football Club. Sorry, I mean Regal. But my point is that I'm just making it clear that, in my opinion, you are just. This is how it sounds like to me. How is Partey and Zubimendi not a massive upgrade on your last year's midfield? For me, in my opinion, I'm asking a simple question. Okay, I'll ask this question for the people in the chat, for the record, because you love looking at people's videos, right? Let's get this video out there. Is your midfield good enough to win the Premier League?
No. Is the window over?
I've asked you a question, so answer it.
Is the window over?
Why so aggressive, Ches, man?
Nah, but Ches,
I know, bro. Like, why can't we just have normal football conversations?
I know it's.
I always wonder this. Why do we always go to this?
Joey, it's not me. It's not you feel good enough to make top four.
But listen, hold on. The thing is, Ches, all you have to do is just structure like. Is your current midfield?
It's not gone, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not saying you can't make additions. Do
you think your current midfield is strong enough for you to win the Premier League?
That's what I meant, but I didn't mean in the future.
I know that's what you meant, but like now we can't escape the question.
The current team is not strong enough because we.
I didn't say current team. I said current.
We said midfield.
If we go and make the right signings elsewhere,
no, that's that. No, is your current midfield?
Answer the question, please. I
don't know. We have to see.
I would say as well, you say the window ain't done. I don't see Arsenal
at this moment in time.
Midfielder.
At this moment in time, I wouldn't go and put my. I wouldn't pay money to say yeah they are or not or no they aren't. Right now, I don't know what they're gonna do because we haven't seen these guys play together.
I just can't see us signing another midfielder, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I can see us signing a striker and a winger. But we
don't know how we're going to play with Zubimendi. And I do think Nørgaard to Jorginho to Nørgaard is an upgrade. Jorginho.
Okay, so hold on, guys.
I'll let you boys go.
Yeah, I understand the guy's answer, but he doesn't know what's going to happen. So, okay, are you implying that Arsenal could and will go out and get another midfielder to play midfield?
If we go get Eze, he's a player who can also play on the left. And
it's not a question. I want to hear his answer. Sorry, guys.
If we go and get Eze, he can also play in the midfield.
So wait, hold on a minute. You're going to buy Eze.
If you also get Morgan Rogers, he can also play in the midfield.
So you're going to get Eze and Morgan Rogers?
We could get one of them. That's what I said.
So the one that you have been linked with Spurs is actually Eze. Do you think that provides probably the option I think is quite perfect for you? I thought Cunha was a good fit for you lot, but I think Eze is definitely a great fit if you want to look for the Premier League proven situation as well. The one that
he's seeing Eze as a left winger though, not as a camera.
Yeah, but I look at it like this year. My thing with Arsenal, yeah.
So who plays left wing if you buy Eze and put him in midfield? That's the thing, Joey. Who plays left wing?
But Eze would go left wing, but he just played a little bit of a different role.
Left wingers, bro.
Who said it earlier? I think Joey said it. You said that they got like 8 wingers, but Joey was like, no. They got a bunch of 10 that can play in the wing. So it's not an issue for Man City, but it wouldn't be an issue for someone like Arsenal. It's kind of the same thing. If he can play off the left, that means they're adding the creativity. We said all along here, where is creativity when it comes to Arsenal? You need a bit more of a creative of a left-sided player that can unlock a defense and if not be a little bit direct like Eze. Eze's only issue is football does not start in January. It starts beforehand. That's his only thing. But you give him like a proper number 9 to go, aka Matez, he will do his thing. I think Eze is a solid.
So fair enough, Gav. I understand. That's a good response. But to Gal's point, he said for the midfield,
crazy.
As Eze would come into midfield, but isn't the whole point of getting Eze or Rodrigo to play on the left? That's for a Gal's answer.
Think of it like this. Imagine one game.
He's a versatile player. He can play multiple positions.
This is where Arteta's got to earn his money, because in some games, Martinelli, if he does stay, or Trossard, might be the solution on the left for some games, and Saka. But you might need two creative midfielders in the attacking, because there's no point playing, I don't know, Declan Rice in the 8 if you need someone to unlock a defense. Imagine playing Nørgaard and Eze, and then maybe Declan Rice just do the clamping. Do you get what I mean? It's about having different kind of options for once.
Can I jump in? Can I just jump in just quickly with this? Just quickly. So the thing is with Arsenal, and we've seen it a lot over Mikel Arteta's signings. We always sign this versatile, can do a job here, can play this position, play that position. Bro, I'm fed up of that now. Or I just want a left winger. I don't mind. Eze would be a solid signing. I wouldn't be disappointed if we ended up with him and played him there. However, let's just say like a Rodrigo. I don't think he's going to come, by the way, but I'm just going to use his name as an example, I just want a left winger that plays left wing. Please just give me a left winger that's a left winger. Not he can play a left 8, he can go in a number 10 and he can play 3 positions. I just want a left winger. The same copy and paste with a striker, bruv. I'm fed up with this. He plays here and he's there. Get me a geezer that just a 6 foot ugly geezer that knows where the net is, and then get me a winger who's fast and can pass the ball and has got that end product.
Yeah, people are saying I don't rate Eze. I rate Eze. I think he's cold. I think he would match Arsenal. The problem is they've got a lot of midfielders now, obviously. And if you're buying a left winger, like Aaron's saying, you'd want a specialist left winger. When I'm hearing now, when I'm hearing Arsenal fans go, "Oh no, but he can play in midfield," the whole flipping point of getting a left winger, because that's a massive upgrade for your team, is to buy a left winger. Hence why Havertz isn't the 9 everyone thought it would be, because he's not a 9. He's a hybrid 9.
Our team's
so what am I hearing now?
It's full of players around that.
If they come into the team, I don't see that as like a. Like who's he going to start over? Odegaard?
I thought it would be like I thought Arsenal should have aimed for Rodrigo and an Eze. That
makes sense, Kaz. That makes sense.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But people tell me just Eze for me doesn't. He's a sick player, but I don't know if he'd work in their system, because they need a left winger, like a Rodrigo type.
I don't know, man.
I agree.
Eze can work in the system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily. I don't think it's really like that deep, in my opinion. I think you getting Eze would be able to help you in both positions.
Yeah, man.
I just, the problem with this is, like, here's the thing, and this is what I was gonna say. Like, the unknown of, like, you pretty much know what you're gonna get from Rice. Okay, the unknown of Zubimendi and the current downfall of the way that Odegaard's played, like, potentially puts your midfield like underneath the top 5 of the top 5, top 6. It could potentially move you all the way down there if you're not careful. That's the way I see it. Like, if Zubimendi doesn't pan out and Odegaard doesn't pick up his form, you don't get an Eze-like player, then you're really in a position where you're like underneath the top 5 or top 6 teams that are midfields in the league. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, it's that volatile, in my opinion. Like, you could be up in the top 3, you could be down in 6, 7, 8 midfielders.
See, the thing with Eze, to me, is like, I think he's on Tottenham and Arsenal's lists, but I don't think he's the first choice player that either team wants to buy.
Yeah, you want Semenyo, and they want Rodrigo.
I think for me, Semenyo is Spurs' choice. I think Spurs are looking at Semenyo first. I think they'll do Kudus if the money's good. Yeah. And then I think it's Eze. I actually think we might even place Kudus above Eze in terms of our.
I would personally, for what if you're going to get Semenyo, or you'd think Kudus a left footer.
Well,
so
I think Kudus, that's the profile.
Kudus could be Frank's.
I think the price tag West Ham one is ridiculous.
I think if you can do it for like
that's dropped to 65 million after the first, the 10th of July. It gets dropped to 65 million, bro. They only have a
the thing with Kudus is they want to sell him. Yeah, he doesn't want to go Saudi. Premier League, like, in terms of the Premier League, no team in the Premier League is paying more than 60 for him. I don't think anyone outside the Premier League can afford him and is willing to go for him. So essentially, that means that if they want him out this window, he should be a reasonable price if the teams that want to buy him are willing to wait. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a waiting game. Like, if you want him for preseason, you're going to probably pay a premium. But if you're willing to wait a little bit, and I think there's a little domino effect with Semenyo, Kudus, maybe Diblin as well for other teams, obviously in Mbeumo. The problem is the Cunha deal. Not like I'm not having to go at United or anything. It's whatever.
It set the precedent for the entire window for all the winners.
They've set the price for that kind of player. Your
So,
talisman.
all of them.
They're
all going to go for the same price. Kudus,
that's it. So everyone's
Semenyo,
Elanga,
Alanga, fucking Eze. They're all going to go for the same price. All of them.
To be fair, Eze's price was release clause.
Yeah, Eze's a release clause, but if it wasn't for that and the goodwill that Eze has for Crystal Palace and Crystal Palace has for Eze, obviously they'd be asking for 80 or something. He probably wouldn't be able to leave again. So I'm looking at this now, and I think Eze,
João Pedro.
João Pedro, get another one. They'll want 60 for him too. And
they already rejected some bids for him apparently today.
50.
I don't know how credible that is. Yeah, and not even just this.
I'm telling you, all
as well.
those wingers are going for the same price. If you
Well,
want a winger right now,
even last summer, like you've got to look at it from the point of view of saying if you want to buy from the Premier League, like it's going to cost you. You're going to pay a premium, and I think what we're getting to a point now is that like the top, like the broad spectrum of Premier League teams are of a certain level now that one of them losing one of those players makes such a needle move difference to the quality of that team. It's almost not worth it to the teams who are trying to sell these players. It's not worth having to like build up a new player and things like that. So I look at Eze and I say Semenyo, Eze, Kudus, all these guys are.
I say all the time with Arsenal though, and I know lots of you might like Sesko, but if you said I'm bringing in Eze but Gyökeres, I'll be like, fucking too right. That front three, Eze, you've got to create a bit of a creator for Gyökeres, who you just want to finish up, and you got Saka. I'm thinking that's a flipping really good front three. You want to put fear. You want to put fear into teams. Osimhen for me makes you like that puts fear into defenders for me because he's just a lamppost, strong, and you know he might need a few shots to get a few goals, but he's gonna get it. That's why I look at Gyökeres thinking you're going to have to probably play a certain way against him. When you think about Sesko, we don't know yet how he's going to make the development. That's what frustrates me sometimes when I think about Arsenal. It's like, why do you want a development striker? What about now?
Yeah,
now.
But Kaz, that's the point. You've almost answered your own question because it's you got to look at it from the point of view of saying we're now in a new era, and a lot of people aren't appreciating the way.
That's disingenuous, by the way, by saying that.
Yeah, but in this new era, we don't really have that many superstars. The bracket of who are very good players in world football is kind of empty. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's opportunities for lots of players to start stepping up into that kind of level. Same with managers. You know, we've got the cupboard is bare. If I said to you, who's a world-class manager? Yeah, maybe 2-3 man. Like, I ask anyone. We're not getting an even spread across the 5 managers because like the top managers are leaving the game now. The top players are getting older. So like
you know what it is? We're in a moment where the new set of top players have not announced themselves. Exactly. All of them. And the old set of top players have not fully left the game yet. So people are not appreciating the up and coming guys, but they're still judging them compared to the Messi.
I know that's my point. That's why I brought it up. But the point is like, so with Sesko.
Sorry to be doing pinky in the brain.
We're buying, you're buying superstars. Like, but the thing is that is Sesko
pinky in the brain?
I know, yeah. So if you're looking at Sesko, you're looking at all these players. I don't have an issue paying the premium. Like when we were paying 50 million for Brennan Johnson a couple of years ago, I was like, that's when I realized. This is the going rate.
The game's gone.
That's what I'm saying. Get on board.
Are we going to ever see the market inflation go down?
I think it has. I think it's balanced out a little bit because before the 90, 80, but it's because of last year.
Is the new 30.
Yeah, it's been that way. To be fair, like let's be real. I think it's gone. I don't think you're not going to get 80. I don't think clubs are prepared to spend 80 and 90s on players.
Look at Man City signing now. How many signings between 40 to 70 do Man City have over the last 6 months?
Pretty much quite a few. That's pretty much all of them.
That's been their history, though. Really, other than Jack Grealish, they've never really pushed the needle out that far. They've always gone the 50-ish million.
20 to 30.
They've done a couple of 20 to 30.
60 to 50 is like the new 2030.
Turkey was quite cheap, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I just don't. The age of 100 million.
Yeah, you get bargains around.
Ryan was quite cheap this window as well. I couldn't believe that price, to be fair. They got him at. Yeah, they do all right, man. The thing is because a lot of teams, because you got Pep as well. Pep's a massive factor. People want to pay for Pep.
Of course,
it's true, isn't it? But
you had it under Fergie, bruv. We had it under Wenger. Do you know what I mean? That in certain times they do want to play for these managers. Of course they do. That's such a selling point for a player, man.
You can't even imagine how many team players wanted to come in.
Man. Everyone knows they have a shelf life, so they want to go to a team that gives them the best opportunity to win the most that they can.
But that's why I don't blame Gyökeres for wanting to prioritize Arsenal. And I got my own fan base saying, flipping, but we're second choice. Why do you still want him? I said, because we employ Højlund. I'm starving. I don't care. I'm going to use Lee's word, market opportunity. Love.
Mate, the geezer, Gyökeres is 27 years old. He has never been more ready now, or never will be more ready in his life. The club that he's at to make the next step to a club that's in the Champions League football. You know, he's ready for it, isn't he? He's 27. He's in the form of his life. He's ready for the step now. Who that is going to be, we still don't know yet. I mean, I hope it's Arsenal. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look, listen, in the last 3 years, just in the league alone, he scored 89 goals. Sesko, in the same time, has scored 43. In the Austrian league, he scored 16. Then he went to the Bundesliga, scored 14. And last season, he got 13. Not only does he score severely less goals, he's also regressing.
I'm telling you now, if Gyökeres is in Bundesliga,
the reason why people still have faith in Sesko is because he plays in a front two, and they don't really play to his strengths.
Well, he runs the channels, to be fair.
Yeah, that's fine. At this point, under Arteta, Arsenal
jumps 10
Club,
feet tall.
That's fine.
Yeah, he's a tree, bro.
We're not ready to wait 2 years to see if Sesko is going to be
that's the thing.
We're not ready. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I'd have gone, do you know what? I can see it. Let him mold and let him gel in with a team whilst we're coming up to that way. Yeah, but not now. Not now. Not in Mikel Arteta's 7th season at the club. Not now. Not now.
Aaron, I do warn you though. This isn't. I don't. If he flops, then what? Like, I guess is the question. Like, I guess if that's the answer to
manager.
If he flops, then what?
Manager.
Like,
look, 100%. If he flops, I mean, it is what it is. But at least if both of them could flop, let's get it right. None of us have got.
No. I'm not necessarily advocating for Sesko. Bro,
one of the things I would say is,
I am Sesko's biggest hater. Okay, I am Sesko's biggest hater. I do not think he's a good footballer.
If Arsenal Football Club chose, if they said to me, "Yeah, we're going to go for Gyökeres over Sesko," and it didn't bang, I'll go. Do you know what though? That's the club. That's the right player. I think you should have signed. And I'll go. Do you know what? Fair enough for the club for having the ambition to get that more proven player. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, it is what it is. But at least I put my hands up and go. Fair dues to Arsenal for getting the best geezer available.
That's the same thing I use for Chelsea. It's the same thing I've been using my argument. It's like I feel like you're ready for the next step. You've got all these bunch of youngsters, and now you want to go spend allegedly. Let's just say that for now, 55 million on Gittens. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, he's 20 years old, so he'll be sold in 2 years if he sucks.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's ridiculous.
You fans. It's not you fans' fault, by the way. Your sporting directors are fucking arse.
Fucking bozos, bro.
No, but they have a plan.
He's 20 years old, so in 2 years we'll sell him for 40 million to some fucking team in the Prem, and we'll be all right. Like,
you don't deserve.
I don't know what the fuck to tell you about it, right? Like, I just know that my team can sell footballers pretty well. That's all I can tell you. So if it doesn't work out,
pretty well.
So if it doesn't work out, we'll be able to move him. That's pretty much what I can tell you about it.
Joey, what's your hit rate? What's your hit rate on youngsters at Chelsea right now?
Who gives a shit?
Because you got Cole Palmer. How many other players?
It's not terrible, actually, bro. It's really not actually terrible. Like, the hit rate on the youngsters that we've bought so far is really not that bad.
Okay, so in my opinion, if you guys sell Santos, I'll be surprised. But
it won't happen.
But when it comes to Gittens, I think we got to acknowledge that Chelsea's eventually going to get it right. They're throwing money at all these youngsters. They're going to get another superstar out of it.
Oh, I'm trying to justify it, Reaper. Suck my dick. How about that?
They're going to eventually get another youngster that hits. And when that youngster hits and he's like Cole Palmer level, everyone's gonna justify everything Chelsea has done up until this point, because they just need one more player to hit that's gonna be like one of the best in the league, and then they're gonna have some of the best attacking players, some of the best midfielders. They just don't have good defenders.
Yeah, but deep it, Gal. They're gonna.
I think defenders. Egal, I think defenders is later in the window because we're gonna make some sales.
Yeah. But deep it though, Joe. You're probably gonna agree with this. Deep this year, it's like Esteval's there, but he's young. He is the next meant to be hit.
I think he's a year away.
Yeah, whatever. He's cracked. Yeah, he's a good player, man. Let's be real. Yeah, but 55 million on Gittens, yeah. And you look at Chelsea thinking, what? When 15 million more probably goes and acquires you, maybe even 10 million.
Esteval will play on the right, no?
Yeah, but that guy can play anywhere. I don't give a shit. Yeah, but for me,
he'll play on the right though.
When Kudus is there, yeah, and I know not everyone is maybe his biggest fan, but when I think of what's available, and you think about, okay, if Gittens is 55 and you're ready for that, let's say that is true. Let's just say it is true for hypothetically for now, and you can go spend 10 million more, maybe a little bit extra with add-ons, and it gets you Kudus, who's Premier League proven and everything ready to go. You go and do it.
That's the problem. Here's the thing.
Not just because a kid used to play for Man City.
I think Kudu still happens, Cass. I still think it happens.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does.
You know what I'm saying? I still think it happens. Like, I still don't think we're done in attacking areas. Like that's that part. With now Jackson's been being linked to places. Fucking Nani's being linked to places. Like we're not done. Okay, like that part of it is. We don't have a right footer at all. Like we don't have anybody who's a right footer. At all.
You like a left footer, innit? You do like a left footer.
We have all of our players are left footers.
My manager does say he loves left footers.
Yo, bro, Gittens is the only right footer.
He's both footed, to be fair. He's good.
Yes, exactly. But he's mostly right footed. That's it. That's the difference. They're all young players. They all have to find their way.
Quenda, left footed.
Fuck these sporting directors every day of the week, ending with a Y. That's what it's gonna be, I don't know how many times I've been saying fuck these sporting directors, get these guys fired for a year. I'm not about to sit here and change my tune, okay? And the owners can get it too. Fuck them too. Start moving, okay? Start moving because I'm tired of this shit. I'm actually tired of it. I'm tired of these fucking. I'm sitting here. I'm backing these moves. No, I'm not backing these moves. I'm fucking pissed like everybody else, but I'm not gonna sit here and be angry every single fucking day. Nah, I'm all right. I got a good life. I don't I'm good. But these fucking sporting directors, I can sit here on every channel saying fuck them and they better be out as soon as possible. I wanted them out last year after the last year's window when we didn't get a striker. But here we are. Giving them more money to do more fuckery. So here we are giving them money to do more fuckery again. That's it.
Well, I think Chelsea are obviously still a good
fuck
side.
You, CFC Reaper.
But I think Chelsea Champions League is going to hurt Chelsea a lot more than Chelsea. Like from what I've been seeing from Maresca, he doesn't really rotate as much as some of the other managers. Like you can argue whether it's player quality, trust in it, tactical, whatever. It doesn't really matter for the purpose of my point. Because the purpose of my point is that regardless of the reason why he doesn't rotate that much, And when you're going to be playing additional games and things like that, it's going to be really interesting. Because for me, last season, Chelsea basically played one game a week for like 3/4 of the season, right? So let's see how good this actual squad is moving forward. I'm just saying, like, obviously, I think Delap's a good signing. I don't know how much he trusts these new youngsters. I don't even know if Santos will be here next season. Like, maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know what you guys want to do with him. I'm just like, am I seeing enough from Chelsea to think they're going to close the gap on the 3 teams above them? Not really.
That was my question.
Not really
at the moment, as it stands. As it stands, isn't it? Yeah. What were you saying about Konate though? Once holding you up for ransom, or was he trying to do a Trent?
He might be doing a Trent still, but to be fair, he's not coming out saying it means more than that.
Is that why you're getting Mark Gahey?
It could be.
I'm seeing a heated up links today. But Konate, we talk about downgrades. Konate to Gahey is a downgrade and a half.
They might not miss Konate if Gahey comes in.
It's a downgrade and a half. But it is a downgrade.
No, it's a downgrade and a half. It is.
Like I feel like
he should be still fine because you got Kirkes to kind of balance it off a little bit more because he's defensive.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
First of all, he's not guaranteed leaving. I don't know. Like he's not
Yeah,
guaranteed.
yeah. He said he's willing to take that, but Liverpool might not be willing to take
he's on next year for free.
He said, to be fair, he said don't believe what you hear in the he said don't believe what you hear in the media a few times. He even reiterated that not too long ago. But
Trent.
No, so Trent didn't say nothing. Trent said it means more and fucked off.
There was a report. There was a report in the media that multiple clubs across Europe are petrified by Real Madrid's transfer policy.
Brother, they're nasty, you know.
Wait, Egal, weren't you like telling Cass that certain things in the media not to believe certain things?
I'm just saying. I'm not even talking about Liverpool here.
I'm
saying multiple.
He's doing a bid for Jokeris the other day, don't it?
I'm saying multiple clubs across Europe.
Hey, Cass, I'm pretty sure you had to like he was telling you about certain things not to believe in. I just hey. Like,
but Mons, you don't believe that clubs across Europe are scared of Real Madrid's transfer policy?
100%, man. They tapped them up from earlier.
Probably. But I think that's
why we got players on 8-year goddamn contracts.
Like, them get
deal with it that way,
man. Think about it.
They can never come for our player on a free when we got him on 8 years.
No. Oh, you didn't know. Cass, you didn't know. Hashtag both. They want them both. Hashtag both. They want them both. Who's that Mosquera that Arsenal have just pretty much trying to sign? I mean, you don't make them sign this for no reason.
Mosquito.
No, Real Madrid wanted him on a free also.
Yeah.
Who?
Mosquera.
Yeah.
Mosquera. Yeah, they did. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other Frenchman. The Frenchman that plays here.
Leicester.
Oh, Saliba.
What?
We still got 2 years. Listen, this is about Konate. If you want to be like that, let's keep it real.
I'm clouded.
Konate, you guys offered Konate what? You don't want to give him 200K a week?
No, we don't know what we offered him.
I'm seeing
he reportedly wants 200K a week.
He wants 200K a week, and you're not willing to pay that. That's chump change.
I think that's chump change. So, bro, big business. I feel like that's chump change. I feel like you're gonna have what you'd have to pay in this window or in this market to go and get Konate. It would be a lot cheaper just giving his 200K than to go and buy another defender and put him on X amount of money.
Replacement on that same level is going to be on 150, 200K anyway, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's literally
no, but
like
Liverpool's wage bill,
£60 million fee.
Liverpool's wage bill
that
is
level.
Immaculate, guys.
Yeah.
Liverpool's wage bill is immaculate. You got to give it up to them. They don't have anybody over 200K a week or 2 players.
Is it immaculate? Is it as great as what people think it is?
Bro, they just won the league.
Immaculate last year. I was being very nice by saying immaculate, but it is very good. It is very good, though.
Bro, there's a reason why they get so much money for Harvey Elliott and Kwanzaa, because those players are on such low wages. Any team in the world could pay for them.
Yeah, that's calm.
Yeah, and there's a reason why we can't get rid of Zinchenko at Kinko.
100%. Zinchenko's on more money than
exactly why you don't want to
get
more
money than every player in Liverpool squad, bar 3.
Wait, how much is Zinchenko on?
150K.
He was on 20 at Man City.
Yeah, but
that proves your point. Then that proves your point. Then, kind of a guy. You don't want to get someone that's 34 at a time. It's going to go 250K.
How much you just pay MLS? You just gave him a new contract. How much you just
50K?
Yeah.
No, he got 6 figures. There was 6 figures.
That's for the year. That's a yearly thing, though, no?
No, he got 50K. No, how much did he get? Somebody tell me. There's no chance he got more than 50K, bro.
I'm pretty sure that was a standard that he's on 50.
Miles Lewis Skelly was probably on about 6K a week.
Yeah,
I know. He was. I think he was on 6 or 4. Yeah,
he was on.
That was a complete guess.
Yeah. No. Literally, it's either him, Andy from Winery. One of them was on 6, one of them was on 4. So you're actually bang on.
After one season, like when you get an academy player to come up and they're on that still academy wage, you give them a wage structure, right? The Liverpool wage structure is at 25 to 30K. That's like roundabout what they give. Freaking Curtis Jones is still on 15K.
Yeah.
Like that's where if Curtis Jones has been playing on that team for years and he's still on 15K. You're giving Lewis Skelly after 1 year 50. Do you see the difference? I think he deserves it, bro. He's a fantastic.
Where are people saying Skelly's getting 90? That's bullshit.
But that's bro. I thought I read he was getting 6 figures.
Hold on.
He should be on 50.
Hold on. If Skelly's not on 6 figures, his mum has failed him. What do you mean? The guy's out of contract next summer. Yeah. How's he not going to get 100k?
Because you're 18.
Doesn't matter. What leverage did Arsenal have?
I mean, he's had like half a season.
What leverage did Arsenal have in these
I
negotiations?
heard it was 100.
I tell you what,
I heard it was 100.
Hold on, the kids played for England. The kids made 20, 30 appearances last season.
He's bossed it against Real Madrid. Why does he not deserve that money?
No, not
No,
yet.
100%. Once again, I don't like using him as the example just because I think he's all of the quality in the world. Like, he's one of my if there's a player on Arsenal that I actually enjoy watching it like the most, it's him. Like, I really enjoy watching him play football. But the number is still crazy if you think about it. Like, it's still a crazy number.
Listen, it's the negotiation that Arsenal.
I get it. No, bro, I get it for that player specifically, but it goes across the board. It starts to go across the board.
Hold on, but it's a unique situation. I'm saying it's a unique situation. You've got to look at it from the point of view. The player now is going into free contract next summer, so he's out of contract. Right?
Yeah,
he's now a first
team. You've got
to
factor aging, though, isn't it? You have got to factor a few things in
he's
with
England
that.
International. The fact he's 18 is irrelevant.
Mikel Arteta.
I get you, but
later on, if you want to sell Lewis Skelly, right, or if you want to sell one of these academy players, and you're giving him 50k or 60k.
It doesn't matter.
Then you're never going to be able to get rid of them.
Arsenal's back.
Yeah, you know what? They haven't been confirmed, to be fair.
Arsenal have no negotiation. Arsenal have absolutely.
What about Liverpool? Did Liverpool have negotiation for Konate?
They do. They can sell him right now. Other than that,
but Lewis Kelly, I'm not. Can we get one thing straight? Yeah, because this is like the factor. What's Arsenal's factor? Well, we're paying you every week. You're getting your minutes. We're looking at your development. In a couple years' time, we'll probably bump up your contract again.
You don't have to be that cash. You can do that every year. Do you not give him 50, 60 now? Next year he does it again. Give him 75, 80.
Exactly.
That's how it should be.
That's how it works. That's how it works, though.
Yeah.
That's how it works, though. That's exactly
how. Give him 100 and saying already. He's just like, yeah, whatever. You know,
it's Arsenal. At the end of the day, it is Arsenal. It is still Arsenal Football Club. It's a big club, regardless. He wants to play probably for the team that he supports.
Cass, can I say this? Because the girl made a good point.
I don't really care how much he deserves. Every penny, in my opinion. The kid deserves every.
Yeah, he's class. He's class. Even if he's on 100, if that's what they value him at, then fair enough.
But listen, honestly, he is a first-team player where Kai Havertz gets 285 grand a week. Yeah, listen to what I just said. Yeah, and hold on, and he's out of contract. And he's out of contract next summer. So you tell me, knowing that Kai Havertz is on 285 grand a week and you are out of contract next summer as a registered first team bona fide starter for the second best team in England, Champions League semi-finalist, you tell me what salary you think he's on. And you tell me if 50,000 sounds like the sort of salary that he would be accepted based on the scenario I just laid out.
No, we get it though. That's not what we're talking about.
We're also having to look at. You also have to look at how much of a raise you can actually negotiate. He's on 4K a week. You can't negotiate 100K from 4K.
Of course you can.
That's mad. It is mad. That is mad.
You can maybe negotiate 40.
You know what? Yeah, no, I do agree with Gal. And I actually do agree with Gal on this point, what you said about Liverpool and saying about how their wages means that they can sell easier. He's absolutely right with that. And I'll give you an example. On the flip side, it's wrong for Arsenal Football Club, yeah? So this is some of the wages, yeah? I won't take too long on this. Before Declan Rice came, he was on 60k. We give him 240. Odegaard was on 80. All of a sudden, now he's on 240. You've got Martinelli come in. He went from 30 to 70 under Unai Emery, yeah? So I think that's a fair enough jump. From then one good season under Mikel Arteta, he goes from 70 to 180k. We're handcuffed. Luis Diaz, for example, is on 55k. Martinelli is on 180k. That's madness in itself. You've got Zinchenko that was on 20k, is now on 150. Ben White comes on that 40. Hold on 1 second. Let me land, bruv. Let me land. Is on 150. Mikel Mourinho was on 55. He's on 130. Calafiori at Bologna was on 11k. He started on 120. Tierney, 18, 75. Then you've got David Raya, 25, comes in at 100. Tomiyasu at 11 comes in, and now he's on 100. It's so, bro, Kivior was on 2K. Kivior was on 2k at Spezia, and we give him 60 grand. This can't continue. So when we're saying, all right, yeah, just throw 100 grand at that first wage, it's a different scenario as well, that Thomas Partey one, by the way. But when you just give, when you just give him so much money, there's scope. There's scope for from 4K.
I'm sorry.
And then you give him 100K, all right? You give him 100K, and then you give him.
You just spent 2 minutes explaining
why that guy's more in it, and he's going to hold you to ransom.
2 minutes explaining why Lewis Skelly should be on 150K.
I explained how Arsenal Football Club overpaid for wages.
The same salary as Alisson. Alisson's on 150.
Take that from
that? It starts at
madness, bro.
It started too early. The wage structure.
It doesn't.
Boys. No, you're missing out on what we're saying.
Just gone way left.
I'm going to end it nicely. I'm going to end it nicely.
I understand where you're coming from, but we're not even talking about that.
How much is Salah? How much is Salah?
No. But you know what is? You know what? Forget that. You know what is? It's about it's sometimes with Edu probably coming in and the way they're restructuring their board and everything. It's about resetting that. Look at what Chelsea did with Sterling and everything. Bro, they're top earners now are going down. Man United are doing the same thing, going down. We're not giving up them dumb wages no more. It's more incentive based, like Liverpool, like Man City. Arsenal look like they're trying to do that now with Edu. Hence why they take long on the contracts. You go see it. We'll see what happens. It's about resetting that. Ahmad from 110.
What? Say that again.
Salah's on 400.
Ahmad's on 90. Ahmad's on 90.
Okay, so Lewis Skelly should be on at least what Ahmad's on.
Ahmad's been playing football for men's football like 3-4 years.
Listen, what I'm trying to say.
Skelly's played 22 games.
No, but what everyone keeps misunderstanding is he's in a contract year. Yeah. So the thing is, Arsenal have no negotiation power here. I don't get how if you are paying somebody, his teammate, really 300 grand. No, you're paying his teammate 300 grand, and he's a regular starter.
Are you saying it's a bad thing or it's fine?
No, I'm saying these guys are thinking this guy deserves at least 100 grand minimum. He should be
just because we give other players high wages doesn't make it right though.
I don't think it's right though.
But anyway,
the guy's out of contract. He can go to Real Madrid on a free transfer next season.
Yeah, but what if he wants to stay at Arsenal and don't want to go to Real Madrid?
But his agent should still be doing the best.
I hear it, but what if his priority was Arsenal? Have you ever thought about it? Is my priority Arsenal?
He's got 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, and if they gave him a say, you know what? Another year or two, we'll revisit it again after you've done that and do it again and promise him. That's how it works. Promises. Anyway, once you're gonna probably not sell Konate, and Gay's probably gonna end up staying, and you're gonna have so that's actually good. But Konate goes on a free, we get Gay in, and you go get yourself another centre back. That's what I think it is. I think you should go for like Diamonde though. I'll be real, off of Palace. I think that's the perfect replacement. Cheap as well.
No, but Palace are getting Diamonde, and I'm not really trying to shop in the same place as Palace. I'm above that now. Big bid there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Who would you go for? If it was a perfect world, who's the right center back that you would want?
I would. Hobby's not getting a contract he wants.
Nah, Mats. If there's a perfect world, Konate's leaving. Who's the right center back that you want?
Yeah, perfect world.
Perfect world.
Bastoni probably, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's
Bastoni.
left. He's left.
He's a boy.
I know he's left, but he's a left centre back, but he's right footed.
He's not right footed. He's right footed.
Yeah, I know, but that's my point.
Van Dijk's right footed.
Yeah, Van Dijk's right footed. Huh?
You would just have to shift to the right.
Bastoni is the one that's like, bro, he's left footed, bro.
Luque was a great shout as well, by the way.
Nah,
Luque was actually.
Like, guess what? He's also left footed.
But remember, like, there's a few, like, everyone knows my opinion on Konate. I think he's fourth best in the league in terms of ranking as centre backs. But like I've said, he's lower to the other side. Like I've always said openly as a Liverpool fan that I do think Konate is overrated as a Liverpool fan. But I still think he's a top defender nonetheless. He just makes the most, for me, has the most out of thing. So no, bro. Schlotterbeck's Schlotterbeck's injured. That's why I didn't mention him. He's injured. Schlotterbeck's injured. But
Romero, 60
I wouldn't mind Romero. At all. I think he's a good centre-back.
60 million? Oh, that's what they want to get.
I think.
Yeah, what do you think? Yo, that's a good question.
That's what you said today. 60 million plus, no?
Jake, is that 60 million number real?
No, like if somebody put like 75, like Spurs might think about it if Romero really forced it, but no. I mean, I don't see any. I think Romero plays for us next season. I don't see any.
Wait, how many has he got left in his contract?
2.
Come in Man United as a middle centre back next season. Safe.
He's not going to Man United.
Yeah, next year, safe.
He's going to go to Spain.
Safe.
He's going to go to Spain.
I'll tell you right now. Atletico Madrid ain't putting anywhere near that number. They ain't touching that number.
How about this next year? Wait, no negotiations.
But by the way,
can we
all come down to the conclusion and Konate's gone?
Yeah, I think he's going to go.
Yeah, 100%.
It sounds like it because a new narrative come out tomorrow. Even
his
Luis Diaz stuff as well. Luis Diaz, I see the news on Luis Diaz a little bit earlier as well about he's not happy with whatever.
They had 3 players out of contract, no controversy in my opinion, until the end of the season. They are well equipped to deal with this kind of
100%, 100,000,000%.
They have the best sporting director in football. Outside of Luis Campos, it's plain and simple. It's just that easy. You don't have to say much more than that.
Yeah.
Anyways, people, can we?
I think it could have been Cass's guy. Cass was linked to over them. You know what I'm saying? Remember them days where the links were to Man United? Remember them days?
Edward. Oh, bro, I was screaming to the high heavens.
Edward's linked to Saudi clubs right now.
I remember your reaction. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I remember your reaction once when we got linked. I rember your reaction.
I was in a bad place.
As long as Edwards is around, Liverpool will be around.
Edwards,
but bro, there were conversations, bro. I was in a bad place.
Give Berta a year. He'll be up there, hopefully.
All right. And by the way, look, everyone's channels is literally in the purple strip. You can find every individual channel as we speak. Jay's one soon come as well under construction. But Aaron talks Arsenal. If you're an Arsenal fan, you never know who Aaron is yet. Well, you should do by now. Then you know where to find him. We got Joey doing Chelsea stuff as well, and on top of other stuff. Gal's going to go live in a second, and we got Monts on Big Sig Monts. So yeah,
and we're going on Call of Duty as well, right? We're going to be on Call of Duty.
Please smash the. I haven't asked once this stream, but if anyone hasn't done so, just a quick reminder: smash the likes. This is going to get redirected to a Gal. Let's go show him some love. He's been here for a while. He's literally so. Let's go raid him up. And if you want to go on Monts' Call of Duty where he gets absolutely fucked up, then you know where to go as well. If you want to put in the
I'll put the link in that.
Yeah. But anyways, as we're doing that, it will still be there, and we'll be back tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.